Okay, I'd say every player is different and every pick is different. So I'd say when you get to a certain selection and you're trying to decide who the best person is, you just decide on. Hopefully by that time you know who the best person for the Steelers will be at that pick. Yeah, I'd say the same answer. The options are on the table. Najee's had 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons for us, and a lot of respect for what he's done. Yeah, I think based on how the season ended last year, I mean the reality is we got to get more playmakers. I think we all recognize that, and the process starts now. hmm Yeah, you evaluate all of it, and sometimes you might do both. You don't know, and there's an opportunity. There's always right now. There's an opportunity to prove your team. It might be through the draft, it might be through free agency, through trade options that are out there. So all options are out there. I don't know if that's accurate. The last couple of years we drafted Spencer Anderson in the 7th round, and he's done a really good job for us, and really like his upside. He has a chance to help us in the future. And then last year we took, I don't know what you define as later, but we took Mason McCormick in the 4th round, and he really did a really good job for us.
Omar, how do you evaluate the play of Justin and Russell?
How do I evaluate?
The play.
Yeah, I mean, there were good things from both of them. Glad to have had both of them with us. It was a good experience and great. Both of them really great people. But the reality is we ended the season with 5 straight losses, and that's not good enough. That's unacceptable. And, from top to bottom organizationally, we have to be better. Yeah, I think as we stand here right now, I think it's safe to assume that Broderick, will start the offseason at left tackle, and he played that at successfully at Georgia, and so we'll see. We'll see how that shakes out. He got better every week. Excited to have him, and excited what the future holds for him. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, the reality is it's all part of it, right? I mean, that's you're not going to run from that. All those measurables that you mentioned, they're important. They're just things you discuss, and you'd like to have the perfect player at every position, but we understand that players come in different sizes and shapes, and that's how it is.
Omar, whether it's Justin and Russ or somebody who's not currently,
hmm
recently in the building, what are you looking for in your quarterback from a skill set standpoint and a leadership standpoint?
The skill set, all look at our guys. They both had different skill sets, and the guys that are available out there, those probably have different skill sets than the guys that we had. We're just looking for the guy, the player that's going to help us win our ultimate goal, which is a championship.
When you evaluate that leadership aspect, how do you feel Justin and Russ did in bringing that to the offense?
Oh, but I can't say enough about both guys as leaders and as people. It was a great experience, and the way those guys handle it wasn't always easy for both those guys, I'm sure, but they handle it like true pros and the pros that they are. Really like Corey. The reality is the durability has been an issue, and until the durability is not an issue, that's a position that we have to keep our eye on.
You and Mike are in regular conversation about these topics. How would you describe what he's told you about what's most important to him in his quarterback decision?
That's a good question. I got to keep those out for obvious reasons. Those conversations between him and I, but we're looking for a winner. We're looking for the guy that's going to help us win a championship. That's the reality.
What are you looking at as a roster in that perspective to put yourself in that contention with those top tier
Those guys set a standard for 2024. They made it to the Super Bowl. Credit to both those teams. I sat on my couch watching those guys play, and that wasn't good enough. And we got to be better organizationally, top to bottom. Yeah, those big guys, I said it from the day I got this job, that's important to me. So we're going to continue to address that all the time. Close. I'm not sure if we would have seen him in the postseason, but he'll be ready for the offseason. Yeah, unfortunately, the season didn't continue for us, but Cole could have helped us in the playoffs. He would have been ready to go. What's that? I'm not going to comment on specific players or things that are out there. The one thing I've learned is that there's a lot of fake news out there. That's just part of the thing. Just part of what we do. But there's a lot of fake news out there. But I'll say that all options are on the table until we address our quarterback position. Patrick Queen in. With Patrick Queen? Yeah, it was awesome. I was glad to have him. He got better, as he got more comfortable in our defense. You just saw it. I mean, you guys saw the speed and how exciting of a player he can be, and I'm glad we got him. Yeah, I mean, it was. I don't know if there's anything specific. I mean, the offenses did a good job of scheming against TJ, but TJ's TJ. Glad to have him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good problem to have. We got 3 capable guys, and the coaches have. I'll leave that up to coaches, figure out how they utilize them, but it's a good problem to have. I don't know if we learned anything new. I mean, we knew the type of person was, a character. I love Justin. I can't say enough about him, and I'm sure it was tough for him. I hope he was disappointed. That's what you want. You want guys that are going to be out there wanting to play. It's been a great experience with Justin.
Omar, last year in grades, you got Justin and Russell. What did you learn about evaluating quarterbacks and signing them last year that you can apply to your pursuit this offseason?
Yeah, the circumstances were a little different there. We signed Russ, and then things happened where we were in need of another quarterback. We wanted to bring another quarterback in. Things happened, and we made the trade for Justin. The opportunity was there, and if I had to do it again, I'd do it again.
Omar, you guys have had a lot of one-and-done playoff appearances in recent years. So what's the balance of maybe sticking to your process versus kind of disrupting it and being maybe kind of changing it up just to kind of get up?
Yeah, obviously, we didn't win the playoff game. That's unacceptable. I'll say every single year we look at our process, how we can get better, how we can adjust, and that happens every year, and it's happening this year. TJ's one of those legacy guys that, I was around Hines Ward and Troy Polamalu. Those guys played their entire careers, and that's a special thing. And I'm hopeful and confident that TJ will be one of those guys. I don't want to get into details of that. We've, it's been different depending on the circumstances that persist. But, TJ's been a big part of this team, and I'm confident and hopeful he'll be here for a long time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's credit to those guys. They did their roster and what they did. They won a Super Bowl, and I can't speak for how they did it, but I can tell you, I can learn and observe. But we've had a desire to build in the trenches and on both sides of the ball, and that's going to continue. Yeah, I think KB has the flexibility to play anywhere on the defensive line. So. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I'll just say, we weren't good enough, and we have to adjust, and we have to get better. We weren't good enough last year. Yeah, it's early, but I'll say it's a good draft. There's a lot of talented players here and guys that can help us. I'm looking at it. There's a lot of time between now and April, but I'll say obviously you look at the defensive line group and the DB group and the running back group. The edge guys and the O line. There's some good players at all those groups. Yeah. The biggest piece, I'll say one of the biggest pieces of this process for us is the time that we spend with the guys, interviewing them and talking to them, and that's where really we try to determine that. We don't have a lot of time, but we try to maximize every second we have these guys, talking to them, asking them certain questions, seeing how they think, how they process, and seeing if like you said, if they're guys that love football and winning is important to them. Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of confidence in Roman. Unfortunately our season didn't continue, but Roman was in position to play if we needed him to in the postseason. I think he could have helped us, but the arrow up on him. Yeah, what was the first part of the question? Yeah. Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with that the first part of that question, but I'll just say, every one of these things is a learning experience, and we're always looking to try to get better, whether it's through the draft or making a trade or the waiver wire, and if there are opportunities out there that we can pursue that are going to make us better and help us win our championship, we're going to do it. I think every one of those situations is a little different. I'm not going to comment on another team's players, but obviously we want TJ here for a long time, and we'd like to do our part in trying to get something done at the right time. And I think he feels the same way, and we'll see where it goes. You'd like to find the guy that's going to help us, but I know we've talked, like, we don't have a guy under contract right now, so all options are on the table. Anybody else? Yeah, Ryan. Was really excited about Ryan's progression last year. He just got better and better every week, and it was just unfortunate. He had a significant injury, and we'll see how all that shakes out. But was really disappointed how that ended for him because, man, that young man was really trending in the right direction.